Mexican superstar Canelo Álvarez retained his unified super middleweight championship with a unanimous decision victory over Edgar Berlanga. While it verged on being a perfect performance, Berlanga couldn't hold a grudge against the man he still calls his idol.
I'm
very happy because at the end of the day, boxing is a sport. The respect is very nice, huh? Then the sportsmanship after the fight. I think he said a lot of things and I feel very good. Not that he told me I'm his idol, but that he fought his idol and that I gave him the opportunity to fight with his idol. Well, how does he feel? I feel very happy, very satisfied with what happened tonight. And I wish him all the best. It's good to see.
For fight fans, it wasn't the Mexican Independence Day fight they'd hoped for because, as the biggest name in the game, Canelo could have chosen anyone he wanted as his next opponent. That means he could have taken the long-awaited rematch with Dmitry Bivol, who beat him at light heavyweight back in 2022, or he could have taken a super fight with the former two-division undisputed champion, Terence Crawford. Instead, the 34-year-old Mexican chose Berlanga, a relatively unknown 28-year-old New York native with Puerto Rican roots.
I never overlook any fighter. I know he's young, he's a good fighter, he's strong. But I've been there with everybody. So I have so much experience, I'm strong. I have a lot of talent, and I'm just the best.
You got two guys that's coming to fight, man, and two guys that got cannons in them hands. So, you know, for me, it's like who's gonna land first? You know, who's gonna be the smarter man? Who's gonna have the better IQ? Who's gonna be intelligent in that ring? You know, everybody wants to knock out, right? Especially the guys that punch. Guys that punch want to knock somebody out. All my fights, I want to catch a knockout. I want to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's going to be a big fight, you know.
Berlanga came into the fight undefeated from his 22 bouts with 17 knockouts. He definitely had the power to do damage, and he'd earned his place in a title fight. Fighting Canelo, however, isn't your ordinary title fight. The Mexican is one of the greatest of all time, and he was looking for his first knockout since 2021.
Every fighter wants to knock out. You know, who don't want to knock out? Everybody wants to knock somebody out, right? But, you know, we know that he's a legend, and we know that we can't go in there and just trying to swing for the fence on him. You know what I'm saying? He got great IQ. He's intelligent. So we got to do it the right way. You know, 6-round knockout, yeah, that's what we're going for. You know, and if it comes, it comes. But if we got to go the whole 12, then we're doing that as well. You know, so we ready for everything that's around the board for this fight, for real.
Like I always say, it's easy to say, but to do it is very difficult. And Saturday night is going to be very difficult for him, that's for sure.
Canelo versus Berlanga was set to be one of the biggest fights of the year, and both men came in looking ready to rumble. Berlanga hit the scales at a lean and mean 167.5 pounds, or 76 kilos. Canelo weighed in at a fraction under Berlanga, but he was still oozing confidence. Side by side and face to face, you could see Berlanga's significant height and reach advantage. This wasn't anything new to Canelo, who had been overcoming his size disadvantage ever since he moved up from junior welterweight.
No, I don't have much to say. I'm ready for Saturday to prove what I say with my actions. What I do have to tell you is that I'm sure he's going to face someone very different from what he's used to.
This is legendary right here. This is history. You know, tomorrow's history, man. All of this right here, none of this don't faze me, man. You know, this comes with it, you know. So I gotta continue. I gotta be great tomorrow, that's all. You know, give God the glory, and it's gonna be written, man. It's our story tomorrow. You know, it's Canelo's show, but like always, man, we coming in to kick the door and destroy the party, man.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And in the third round, Canelo landed a blistering left hook to Berlanga's face that sat him down in an instant.
You know, I went in there with a legend today, man. You know, we came up short. Obviously, you know, I'm a winner at heart, man. So, you know, I'm a little down, but, you know I won the world after this performance. You know, I got dropped in the third round. I came back and, you know, fought a hard fight. You know, I fought a legend, man. So a guy like me, right? You know, the whole world was against me, right? And I was probably like 0 to 100, you know, like 1 to 100, and on the odds, right? And just facing a legend, man, is something different. You know, it's a blessing too to share the ring with him.
After the knockdown, it was all one-way traffic for the champ. While they threw almost the same amount of strikes, Canelo almost doubled Berlanga's punches landed with an outrageous accuracy rate of 43%. It was a masterclass.
No, I feel good. I feel happy. I did what I supposed to do, win the fight, and I enjoyed the fight. I think it was a good fight for the fans, and I'm satisfied.
It was another great win for a great champion, but the criticism was obvious. Canelo was a prohibitive favourite for the 4th time in a row. The fight he should take next is the rematch with Bivol at light heavyweight again. Bivol, however, has a huge fight ahead of him in the form of Artur Beterbiev in a battle for the undisputed title. It's likely that Canelo will only take the Bivol rematch if Bivol gets past Beterbiev, because otherwise there'd be no title on the line. The other fight is the one against Terence Crawford, which could be the more tempting option on multiple fronts. Bud is significantly smaller. He hasn't fought at super middleweight, and his first fight at junior middleweight went 12 hard rounds. He's also an American, so a bout in Las Vegas would be a huge draw. But Canelo wants time before he decides.
Right now I'm going to rest. I have no plans. I was thinking about talking with all of my team and my promoter to see what's coming next, but no, there's nothing yet. We can move forward right now, but the truth is that we're going to enjoy this victory. I'm going to enjoy my family. I miss them a lot. And then we'll see what's coming in May.
On the same card, Erislandy Lara may have beaten Danny Garcia into retirement. The WBA middleweight champ put the former two-weight champ down for the first time in his career, which made him think it might be time to hang up the gloves. It was 8 rounds of booing from the crowd who wanted more action. Lara, who is 41 and the oldest champ in the game, finally landed a decent blow in the 9th that sat the once super exciting Garcia down, which convinced his father Angel to throw in the towel. "I gotta sit back and think about what I'm going to do next," explained Garcia after the loss. "You know, I didn't have a long career. You know, I've been at the top of the game for 12 years. So he's clearly not that keen on going 13. In other boxing news, the former champion Tim Tszyu, son of Australian boxing legend Kostya Tszyu, will get the chance to become a 2-time champion. The former WBO junior middleweight champion lost the belt when he valiantly took on the 6'6" Sebastian Fundora on just days' notice. He was winning the fight for 2 rounds until a stray elbow opened a horrific cut that bled into his eyes for the next 10. Despite dropping the belt by split decision in a short-notice fight that should have been stopped in round 2, PBC and the WBO didn't make the rematch. That left Tszyu looking for more gold somewhere else. The undefeated Russian Bakhram Murtazaliev has given the Australian a fight for his IBF junior middleweight belt, and that bout is set to go down this October 19 in Orlando, Florida. Staying with boxing royalty, Matchroom's Eddie Hearn is optimistic about Conor Benn, son of English boxing legend Nigel Benn, having his suspension lifted in the next month. "We want a date because it's really difficult to plan. If there's a resolution, I can book the fight and get it made. The frustration for us is not knowing. That's what we hope will come to an end during the next months or so." Ahead of his scheduled bout against Chris Eubank Jr. in 2022, Benn tested positive for the banned substance clomiphene. The bout was subsequently cancelled, and the British Boxing Board of Control suspended Benn's boxing licence for 2 years. Currently unable to box at home in the UK, where he is a legitimate draw card, Benn has been forced to fight in the States, while his lawyers have been fighting the ban back home. On that, there's an obvious head-scratcher happening. We've had a lot of questions asking why doesn't he just take a 2-year ban? The test was in June 2022. But to Conor's detriment, he's never wanted to concede a ban because he believes in his innocence.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.